Well, hey everyone, I'm Dr. Mike Palompo, and I am the longest standing continuous professor here at Pacific Rim Christian University. I began teaching here in 1998. The first course that I put together for the school was spiritual transformation, and I still teach that to this day. So why am I teaching this? That's because my passion is really Jesus. It's really about like coming into a deeper intimacy with Him. And I felt like Christianity can become about so many different things. It could become about ministry. It could become about even becoming a better person, like your character or whatever, like self-improvement. But it's really about your relationship with Jesus, isn't it? And so where could we have a context in which we could actually just unpack that and learn how growth really happens? How do we transform for real kind? How is it our character really changes? It's not about I just see these list of really great moral behaviors that I would I want to be a more loving person. I want to be a more joyful person. I want to be a more peaceful person. No. It's not just about these character traits that you want to tack on to yourself. You become a loving person. It's not I want to be loving. You are loving. And you are joyful. And you are peaceful. Your identity changes. And that's what spiritual transformation is about. It's coming into a deep intimacy with Christ and becoming more like Him, not as tack on, but as this is who I am now. Another class that I teach is called, and I teach these two classes in the fall, is called The Principles of Church Ministry. And that's kind of the formal title of it, but let me tell you why I feel passionate about this class. My nickname for this course is the Jesus-Built Church. And the reason I call it that is because Jesus says, I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. My question is Jesus building our churches? Or have we taken that on as pastors? If you might be a future pastor one day, are you taking that on as a pastor? It's I will build the church. Because He did not ask us to build His church. He said He would build it personally. So this course is about finding a way to get ourselves out of the way so that Jesus can build His church. Because if we build it, then it becomes something else. But if we let Jesus build it, then it becomes what He intended it to be. And what's that? The location of the presence of God on the earth. So in the springtime, I teach two more courses. I teach a class called Evangelism and Discipleship. This class is about the gospel of the kingdom, not just a quote-unquote gospel of salvation. Instead of basic instructions before leaving earth, right? The gospel is really about bringing heaven to earth. You will carry heaven in your heart, and the world around you will be transformed. Jesus prayed it Himself. He said, pray this, that my kingdom come, my will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You're not leaving earth to go to heaven when you believe in the gospel. You are bringing heaven to earth. That's what evangelism and discipleship is about. The fourth class that I teach, this is in the spring, is I teach a class called The Person and Work of the Holy Spirit. And this is a kind of a part one of the church class that I teach, because what we're doing in this class is actually contending that you become a carrier of God's presence on the earth. And I wrote a book. It's called Lightning in a Bottle. And basically what I'm saying is, in this book, and this is the textbook for the class, is that you're going to be the vessel for the presence of God on the earth. So in other words, you bring the ordinary, God brings the extra that makes you extraordinary. So you bring the natural, God brings the super that makes you supernatural. You bring the bottle, God brings the lightning that makes you lightning in the bottle. And so this course is about like seeing yourself, not just like, yeah, I'm a good Christian, oh yeah, I'm a disciple, yeah, I do ministry. But no, you see yourself as the carrier of God's presence on the earth. And you will temple the Holy Spirit. So that's what the person and work of the Holy Spirit is about. All right, so as you're listening to this, I pray that like something will like just kind of stir up in your heart. And I believe that's possibly the Holy Spirit who's causing some of these things that I'm saying to resonate in your heart, in your soul, in your being. And if that's the case, I would seriously begin to pray about coming to Pacific Rim Christian University, because that's the calling, I think, of the Lord on your life. In the classes that we teach, we find a number of people who all had this like common sense of, God led me here. I'm here because God called me here. And if you're feeling that same sense of calling on your life, step out and check out Pacific Rim Christian University.